Welcome to the fourth round of the 2025 Chrono Belgian Rally Championship. It's the Rallye Wallonie, the 42nd edition, and this is a big first for Belgium rallying, the new Porsche 992 Rallye GT, which will face this stiff competition of plenty of Rally 2 cars, Citroëns, Hyundais, Skodas, and of course there's the Stellantis Cup as well, the cup reserved for Opel Corsas and the small Peugeot. 20 stages over 2 days. This is the longest rally yet of this season. And there will be fierce competition. And here's the man who has the honor to take this new Porsche to the stages first. Reigning champion Cédric Chorin. Starting with his baby blue Porsche. And it's a fast start for Chorin, setting the fastest time in the opening stage. This is the leader in the 2025 edition of the Chrono BRC, Jos Verstappen, together with co-driver Renaud Jamoul. He has won both the rounds in which he competed, Jos, and he likes to make it 3 in a row. Verschuren won the other round, the TAC Rally in Tielt, and he's aiming for a podium finish here as well. Good start to the season for Verschuren with his Citroën C3 Rally 2. Third time in the opening stage for Verschuren. Bastien Rouard lives in the region of the Rallye de Wallonie. At the start with the new Hyundai i20N Rally 2, aiming for a top 5 finish or more. Bastien Rouard, together with their co-driver Fred Poncelet, Niels Reinvoet and Chris Dalene, still looking for a first good finish here this season, I mean. And Reinvoet is only 1/10 of a second slower than Verschuren. And he's back, Adrien Furnemont, double Belgian rally champion in his first rally of the year with the Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. It will take some time to get the grips with that, but take care of Furnemont after that. As we said, it's a round of the Stellantis Cup as well, and after the first loop of 4 stages, Corentin Dozo is in 5th in that Stellantis Cup, with the big favorite Lander de Potter only in 4th, but he has issues with the turbo, lack of power on his Opel Corsa. In 3rd in this very international cup is German driver Lukas Thiele, with Loris Elst as his co-driver. Corentin Fias is the first of the Peugeots. He's in 2nd, 18 seconds behind the leader. And that leader is Dutchman Mart Ippen, with Jorik Christians at his side. We're pretty happy. Pace is good, but the car is not doing what we would like it to do. So we hope to solve that later in service. In the overall rankings, Patrick Snijders is driving this Porsche 997. We're only 3rd or 4th Porsche, I think, so now we really see the difference between the new generation of the Porsche, of the one of the 2 Cédrics, and then you have the 991, and we still have the 997. That's a car from, I think it's 20 years old, but it's still a good car, nothing like it. But now you can see that new generation does make the difference on these stages. It's very bumpy and very fast. And he's another Rally GT new Porsche in the hands of Cédric de Checo. In the GT class, Cédric de Checo is in 3rd.
Première spéciale un peu compliquée parce qu'on a découvert la...
First stage was a bit complicated because we discovered the car, but the road was already very dirty for us. But step by step we got into the rhythm, and we're not that far removed from the best times, I think. I'm very happy with that. It's with so little kilometers in the car. In second in the GT category is this Porsche 991 GT3 of Romain Delay. He has the exact same time as Cedric De Checo after the first loop of 4 stages. Benoit Verlinde in his small Clio is leading the RC3 class and is in 16th overall. Nicolas Stampard is just outside the top 10 in 12th.
Het gevoel is goed.
I have a good feeling, but I don't know the stages well enough. It's only our second participation. The first was 4 years ago when we just started off. So we lack a bit of stage knowledge here on this very fast stages. But it was certainly an okay start. We can do better, so that's what we're going for. Emil Breitmeier was again among the fastest drivers, but he had a small incident on one of the stages. But Breitmeier gets back on the road.
On était vraiment en confiance.
We were attacking full of confidence, but in a corner I know very well. I know it's a trap. I slid into the field. It took 20 seconds before to get back on the road, so the rally started quite badly. Cameron Sonnet with the Life Hyundai is in 7th after the first 4 stages. Just in front of him is another Hyundai from the BMA workshop. The hands of Bastien Rouard.
Ça va fort devant, on est parti sur un très bon.
Things are going very fast at the front. We started very well in Mouilleville. Unfortunately, I slid a bit wide, so I quickly calmed down again. Let's say then and lower the pace a bit because it's a very long rally now and it's very exciting between positions 3 and 6. I think 2 leaders are untouchable. It was planned like that, I think, especially on the dry roads. The Porsche is impossible to follow. Another live Hyundai in the hands of Niels Reinvoet in 5th.
Ja, ik denk dat we...
I think we drove quite well, but we might have taken a bit too much of a margin left and right. It's also the first time with this car on these fast stages, so it's a bit normal, I think. We're trying to move up a little bit now. We're now in 5th. We do not want to lose contact for the podium fight. There are 2 drivers very well ahead of everybody else, so we hope to move up a little bit to stay in the running for the podium places.
Een klein beetje op te schuiven om in running te blijven voor het podium.
2.8 seconds ahead of Niels Reinvoet is Adrian Furnemont.
Ouais, le début de rallye est pas si mauvais.
The start of rally was not that bad. I think we're 4th or 5th. Gaps are very small now. This morning I had a couple of issues with the setup in the first 2 stages. I hope it goes better now. For the second loop, it takes a while before it comes back a bit. So normally we say it's like riding a bike, but it takes a while before it gets better again. To be honest, I do not want to be surprised at something stupid, so I'm keeping something in reserve for the time being. In 3rd position, 22 seconds behind the leader, is Vincent Verschuren. Best of the rest, let's say.
De eerste proef waren.
First couple of stages actually started very well, but the balance of the car was not that good. And then I had a couple of warnings and my focus was a bit off. But okay, we're going to see if we can make an adjustment now in the service to do a bit better.
Dat we een aanpassing kunnen doen om het iets beter te doen.
Hard fight at the front and Jos Verstappen takes 1 fastest time in that loop of 4 stages, but he is in 2nd.
Dat is Verstappen een beetje geschrokken.
Verstappen a bit surprised by the start of Chorin because that was impressive with that Porsche. Yes, definitely. The stages are like that with such long straights. We knew in advance that the Wallonie was their chance to do well, but we're still pretty close. So we're trying to keep the gap as small as possible, and maybe tomorrow, I don't know, maybe the stages are a bit better for the Rally 2 cars, then we'll see. But it's nice to have a great fight now with the Porsche.
We gaan het zien, dus, maar het is wel mooi om die competitie te hebben.
Leading the rally now is this impressive Porsche 992 Rally GT. Very spectacular as well. Chorin leading the rally, taking 3 of the 4 fastest stage times.
On se doutait que si les conditions étaient bonnes.
Yeah, we knew we might be good if the conditions were good. We would have a chance of a podium finish, but it's better than expected now. After 4 stages, we're leading the rally, so that's really super positive. That means that everybody who worked on this project has worked in the right direction. These are the standings after the first 4 stages. Chorin leading with 8 seconds in hand over Verstappen, then a bit further behind Verschuren, Furnemont, Rijnvoet and Roy. Off to the second loop of 4 stages. 11 stages on the opening day of the Rallye de Wallonie. Emil Breitmeier in the Citroën was still in 8th, just behind Tom Ronsoner in this Hyundai. And another Korean machine in the hands of Bastien Rouard, still in 6th, but gradually losing time towards the leaders. Niels Rijnvoet is still in 5th for the moment.
I
think with 3 or 4 drivers within 10 seconds. It's all close together, but closing the gap by 10 seconds will be difficult today. We still hope to move up a place. We're really in the running for 4th place with Adrian. We'll see. There are still 3 stages to go today.
We zien wel, het is maar 3 proeven.
Adrian Furnemont and Niels Rijnvoet separated by 6.7 seconds after 8 stages. Going stronger in every stage, Furnemont. But he's still headed by 3.5 seconds by this man, Vincent Verschuren in the Citroën.
I think it's voorlopig wel, maar ja.
I think it's going well now. There's a big fight behind us. We still have to do everything we can to keep our 3rd position. It's really super close racing with only a few tenths to spare every time. So yes, all hands on deck, I'd say, to try to get even better.
Probeer net al.
That's Verstappen trying to get closer to Cedric Chorin, but he loses just a bit of time.
Ik heb het gezien.
I think the pressure is on. I think if there's just a bit of gravel in the stages, that will be to our advantage. He has a lot of advantages in the other 3 stages. We'll see. Of course, there's still tomorrow, but will there be a bit more gravel tomorrow? So it will be exciting, this rally.
Wordt nog spannend, de rally.
What mindset do you have in the car now? Do you want to win or be the fastest Rally 2 car?
Ik wil winnen.
I want to win. That's clear, but for the moment it's Cedric Chorin leading the rally, 9.2 seconds in hand. But he could have had a bigger lead, apart from one small incident.
J'ai fait une toute petite faute.
I made a small mistake when leaving the gravel, so I turned, but there was more gravel than expected, so I hit the house and the engine stalled. I just saw Cedric, the Checo, had the same and broke the radiator. For him, he's retired, so that's a shame. That was it for the first part of our report. See you after the break. Back to the Rallye de Wallonie, the 4th round of the Kronoil Belgian Rally Championship. We're at the end of the first day, the last loop of 3 stages, and this first day was also a round for Division 2. Quentin Collignon finished in 2nd in that Division 2 chapter with his small Ford Fiesta. But it was a win for Valentin Dozo and his Peugeot 208. Only 7.2 seconds separating the 2 Division 2 drivers. In historic, it was dominated by this Ford Escort. Thomas Collier in his Escort RS 1800. In the Rally 5 class, Nicolas van der Reerde is in 2nd, 1 minute and 7 seconds behind the leader after the first day, and that leader is Lenny Coles, with Pascal Lopez as his co-driver. Driving a strong rally again, the Coles youngster. In the Stellantis Cup, the Opel Corsa of Lucas Tira and Loris Elst is in 3rd at the end of the first day, 48 seconds behind the leader. Quentin Dozo and Colin Fallet had a penalty of 20 seconds, which let them drop to 5th. And leading the Stellantis Cup is still not open with Yuri Christians. They have some 40 seconds in hand over Lander de Potter and Jasper Malfay. Overall, Richard Pex with his Skoda is just outside the top 10 in 11th. Patrick Snijers has climbed up to 9th and is now 2nd in the GT class together with David Thierry. Thibaut Mazin and Samuel Mayen in the Skoda Fabia of the PTR workshop, the Peter Tune rallying, are in 8th. And Emil Breitmeier is out of the rally, and this is why. Just a bit wide and a hard hit. Tom Ronsonnet with Johan Jallet still in 7th. Losing a bit of contact with the top 6. Bastien Loire still in the top 6, still edging to keep that position and trying to get into the top 5. 5th is still for Niels Rijnvoet, only seconds away from the podium though. .6 seconds separate Rijnvoet from this man, Adrian Furnemont. Good first day for Furnemont and Bourget. But they're behind Verschuren and Vermeulen in the Citroën C3 Rally 2. Good fight between these three drivers for that last podium place. Jos Verstappen ends the day 12.9 seconds behind the lead.
71 left second gravel, stop, 1 left second gravel, and flat right 80. 4 left.
Jos Verstappen, het was een mooi...
It also was a nice fight with Cedric Chorin today. You're now in 2nd. I think everything is still possible tomorrow. I hope so. Of course, there are a couple of stages that should be better for us, but there's also a stage with a very long straight. We'll see. We'll try, but it's difficult. There's a 200 horsepower difference between the two cars, so the difference has to be somewhere, I think.
Het moet ergens in zitten, denk ik.
So a 12.9 seconds lead for the impressive debut of the Porsche 992 Rally GT in the hands of Cedric Chorin and Damien Witters.
Cedric, une journée...
Cedric, an almost perfect day for you. Yes, it's really great. To be honest, we had a lot of fun driving this super nice car. And here we are in the lead. It really wasn't planned. I thought we would be a bit behind Jos, but in the end it turns out it's only a matter of seconds, right? And that's good for the show.
Ça c'est sympa pour le spectacle.
And here are the standings at the end of the first day. Chorin leading with 12.9 seconds in hand over Verstappen, and then Verschuren, Furnemont and Rijnvoet. Nine more stages on the second day of the Rallye de Wallonie, the 4th round of the Chrono Belgian Rally Championship. In the RC5 category, Van der Weerde is still in 2nd. Gap doesn't get a lot bigger, but it's still Lenny Coles leading by a minute 15 in hand with 3 stages to go. In the Stellantis Cup, there's a good fight at the front, with Lucas Stille now in 2nd, because Lander de Potter has taken over the lead from Nard Ippen, who made a mistake and had to retire. In historic, Thomas Callier now has a 2 minute and 20 lead over the escort of Benoit Chene. Cedric De Checo restarted after his unfortunate incident on Saturday and set a couple of good times. Patrick Snijers still in 2nd in his Porsche, 2nd in the GT category, that is. Overall, Tom Ronsonnet holds on to 7th place during the first 2 loops of 3 stages of the final day. Getting used to the Life Hyundai. Bastien Rouard just dropping tenths of seconds here.
Ça va mieux aujourd'hui, hein, on se
It's
rapproche.
going a
des
bit
meilleurs.
better. We get closer to the top and the podium finish. So we'll see in the stages where all 4 of us are in the same second.
Ouais, ça attaque bien.
So I don't think we can come back, but we'll wait and see. We'll keep the pressure on the others, and we'll see. Indeed, there's 4 drivers fighting for 3rd position. In 5th for the moment, Niels Rijnvoet.
Het is al de derde passage.
It will be the 3rd passage, so the differences will be getting smaller. There's 7 seconds for 3rd place. The battle for 3rd between Adrian and Vincent it's very close. We're going to try, but I don't think I can take much back from those 2.
Terugnemen op de 2.
Adrian Furthermore and Vincent Verschuren separated by 1.3 seconds. 3 stages to go.
Ça a bien roulé dans les 2 dernières
The last 2 stages went well. We put in a good effort with all the leaving corners and all. I'm finally starting to get some mileage on the counter. We keep the pressure on Vincent. What can I do? I'm behind, so I have to keep pushing. For the moment, Verschuren holds on to 3rd place. But anything can still happen in the final 3 stages.
1 secondje nog, ja, kan je nog ergens.
1 second left. Can you still find something to gain somewhere? It's just a matter of not making a mistake and driving perfectly. I think I just was a little too eager now in this loop. Here in the left and right, you lose half a second or a second maybe, and then you can't make up for it because we're driving more or less the same rhythm. So yes, we'll try to do even better in the last loop. At the front, Jos Verstappen incurred a penalty of 20 seconds, dropping him off the fight for the lead.
Stoort het je een beetje dat de Porsche...
Does it bother you a little that the Porsche is certainly a little faster on the straights? Well, it's not fair competition, I think. I mean, if you have a car with 500 brake horsepower and one of 300, and you have to compete against each other, I think that's not right, I think. This Porsche has 2-wheel drive, though, Jos, and this is what happens with a 2-wheel drive car on gravel. Small mistake for Cedric Chorin. Losing some seconds.
Dans Nanine, on a fait une petite.
In Nanine, we made a small sliding, a bit too big a slide in the gravel. I think we lose a second or 2, maybe 3 seconds. It's not the stage for the Porsche. 3 stages to go. 34 seconds between Chorin and Verstappen. It looks like this rally is decided. The fight for the podium, on the other hand, is still wide open. Final 3 stages and a big win in historic for Thomas Collier, beating the competition by 2 minutes and 10 seconds. RC5 class is won by Lenny Coles, dominating the whole rally.
Lenny Coles, quel rallye!
Lenny Coles, what a rally for you. Congratulations. Oh, thank you very much. I think it went very well. Didn't make any mistakes. It was a perfect rally. In the Stellantis Cup, the win went to Lando de Potter after a difficult first day. The setup was wrong in the morning, and we had a turbo issue, so we lost quite a lot of power. We were able to solve that last night and adjust the setup, and this morning we started quite aggressively on the first stage and set a nice time, and then we were able to put some pressure on Nard, and maybe unfortunately he made a small mistake on the second stage with big consequences, so we could take advantage from that. It's a very difficult rally at very high level. And then the fight for the podium finishes. Niels Rijnvoet eventually finishes in 4th because Cedric Chorin lost a lot of time here. Look, the electronics cut out on the Porsche on this gravel section. I'm still very happy with how we performed and what we showed. I think the car was really good. That was it. I think the rally gods didn't support us here in the last lap. It's the worst part. Now everything works, so I really don't know what really happened. Chorin finishing in 5th in the end. Then the fight for 2nd and 3rd then between Adrian Furthermore and Vincent Verschuren. Verschuren lost some time behind the stricken Porsche of Chorin. And in the end, the gap between Verschuren and Adrian Furthermore was only 1/10 of a second. With the Skoda driver taking 2nd position overall on his comeback rally.
Pas mal de pression aujourd'hui.
It was plenty of pressure today. It's good to be finishing 2nd with Jos and Cedric and the whole gang here. And the win goes to Jos Verstappen after that issue for Chorin in the end.
Bij ons ging het perfect.
For us, it went perfectly. If you see how the difference with the other Rally 2 cars is, we're very happy with the progress we are making, and also with the notes. So the gravel crew of ours, they're really pretty. We're perfectly aligned with each other. Here are the final standings. Jos Verstappen takes third win out of 3 rallies, beating Adrian Furnemore and Vincent Verschuren to it. Niels Reinvoet finishes in 4th, and Cedric Chorin eventually in 5th. And these are the standings in Division 1. Jos Verstappen now has 83 points, Vincent Verschuren 42, and Cedric Chorin 35. That's already quite a big gap. And in Division 2, Quentin Collignon takes the lead after his 2nd place here this weekend. That was it from the Rally de Wallonie. See you next time.